flip it around a bit.
Can't do that, Abe. Stop sliding it around.
I'm going to let you have a go now, and you're not going to do that.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm well behaved.
Good morning. Welcome to the MGTF. Yes, another green MG.
And hopefully I get on a bit better with this one than I did with the last one.
Yes, it's got a bit more of a gaugeable running system.
Yeah, remind me what year the last time was?
The last
PB was?
PB was 35. This
so
is
it's
54.
19 years older. So it's had 19 years to get better to impress me.
Yes, but it's taken 19 years to look like this, which is why this car is a little bit controversial, because this design fundamentally is 20 years old, but we'll get onto that in a bit. So yes, MGTF.
Let's have a look.
This car's been lent to us again by the motor shed, so how can you say no? It's pretty though. As far as the TF is concerned and the TD is concerned, I think this is a very pretty one. It's got steel wheels as opposed to the wire wheels, which I think are better and far superior. I like the original. All the leather looks very original. It's been repainted at some point. Original colour. It had its last owner owned it in 1971 and owned it for 46 years. So that's very cool. Massive fuel tank. We were told it had a massive fuel tank, and it actually does. It's capable of 30 miles to the gallon, which is good.
I can't wait to drive it on the basis of I didn't like the last one, because I want to like little old MGs.
Yeah. And this gearbox is a lot different. It's a standard H pattern. It's got a lovely tonneau on it, which I'm very excited about. This the tonneau can fold over half, so you're just in your own little sort of cockpit, which I like. But yeah, let's just see how we get on with this one. I think we're going to gauge this one far quicker than we did the last one, the PB. And we've been told that it's not really a sports car, this one. It's more of a enjoy the weather, let's go to the pub kind of thing, which we're not going to do, but we're going to enjoy the weather, we're just not going to the pub. But yes, MGTF, let's have a go.
Get in with me. There is your hat of stopping. We should get you a branded one.
Yeah.
Get some blind mice on it. So, welcome to the cockpit of the little MG, the TF. Now, this is something that we may be ignorant not to know, but same thing with the PB we drove. There's no fuel gauge. I don't know whether there's 3 little lights there. Maybe one of them comes on when you're at a very low point, but same. How can you have a fuel gauge?
Yeah, I know. It'd be hilarious if we ran it out, but
that's the thing. I assume Mark would have left it with some in it, but I just don't know how much fuel it has. But again, that's not really a problem. Seating position, actually quite comfortable. Your legs do.
I like it.
It's nice. There is sort of no footwell. They do go straight, but when you're driving, I don't really think that's an issue, because you always have your knees slightly bent anyway, so you can interact with the pedals. Fly-off handbrake, which is just pull up and down. That is off. And then it's a 4-speed H pattern, and it's got synchros, so it's much easier than the PB. One thing I have noticed driving around the corner, clutch is incredibly tricky. You basically got massive travel, and then the last 10%, basically you don't need any of that 90% of travel. That 10% is where everything happens, so you could just have a really small clutch, but basically you have to put it all the way down to get it in. Just pops into first, and then really easily let it off, and then it rolls. And once it's rolling, it's absolutely fine. Goes into second very easy. There you go.
Just be careful.
I am. My foot's like.
Yes. So, like I said in the intro, the MGTF.
We keep doing this, brother. PB is old, TF is new.
Yes. There's many forms of T's and D's and C's and F's and P's.
Yeah.
T's and C's. So yes, it was a bit of a controversial car when it was launched in 1953, purely because of the design, because it still looked like it was trying to be from the 1930s, which I kind of see.
Which now doesn't actually matter. But back then, obviously, I imagine it's like having an iPhone that looked like date. You just can't do it. Everyone needs the latest and greatest at the current point.
Yeah.
Now it works. Back then,
yes. So the running gear is a lot better. It's a much more usable car.
we've been told you have to come to a standstill in first if you want, or it will grind, won't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, it's a much more usable car, but it didn't actually. A lot of people thought it didn't look the part, which you know I kind of get. I'm not the biggest fan of the looks of this car. Like I said, I think it looks a bit like a kit car. However, driving around in it, poopling around in it, which is what this car is for, it's starting to change my mind a lot.
Yeah. I tell you what, I do love the feel of this wheel. It is the thinnest, oldest wooden textured wheel, and it is like interacting with something that's alive, just because you know it once was at one point. The literal material was once living, and it just so thin and lovely to hold.
Yes, it's just a fabulous little thing to do what we've just been doing in, isn't it? That's what it is. It's accessible classic motoring.
If it was 10 grand.
Yeah, it's just a fabulous little thing.
I do feel though, with these cars, we can say we like it. Would we buy one? Would I actually put £21,000 down on it?
Yeah, basically there's the argument.
That's the big question you got to answer. I don't think I would, because this car doesn't mean enough to me personally. Now, people who buy these cars, maybe their dad had one, maybe their grandparents had one, maybe it's been significant in their lives. Maybe they are just desperate MG fans who love MG. I don't say desperate horribly. I mean just me, like, you know, they love MG, and you want to get into an MG. Maybe this is the kind of price point you can look at. I don't know. For me, maybe I wouldn't put down £21,000 for it.
It's just flipping around a bit.
Oh, do that. Behave. And stop sliding it around.
I'm gonna let you have a go now, and you're not gonna do that.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm well behaved. I really like this car. I think, albeit it may be coming from a sort of narrow-minded view of a 23-year-old, I like the fact that it took me 2 corners to get used to the car and feel comfortable in it. I feel like when it's someone else's car and you don't just jump into it in the same way you do with an older car, a newer car, this made me feel comfortable. Control weights are easy, great to see out of the wheel, lovely, you can feel everything, perfect size. It's not snappy, is it? It's just a lovely introduction.
It's one of those things that, like I said in the car, it's not a connoisseur's car, so if you're just in the market for a classic car and you want to use it at the weekend, even day to day,
you don't want to shell out 50 grand, 100 grand to make it.
No.
This is a nice little entry point that will make you feel comfortable, and you are still technically driving a convertible, old British. I know it's not a sports car, but it's sports car enough, isn't it? It looks angry.
Yeah. I mean, we've been able to exploit all of the power as well.
Yeah.
That's one thing we don't often do just up at the loop here because of the limit of space, but it's really surprised me.
Much preferred it to the PB.
Yeah, well,
You're not sure.
I'm not sure.
I'm much
from a day-to-day on-the-road use, yes, but you know, 2 different cars.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, thank you very much to Mark from the Motor Shed for letting us borrow this car. See you in the next video.
We will. Goodbye.